phone.
Can we move on?
Yes. Yeah, we can move on. Shit, what we have to move on? What we have left?
Ice Cube is in the media lately, and what? Oh yeah, you're like, okay. It's called A Contract with Black America, and I definitely should not be talking about it, but Nile, you should.
You know,
you like that segue?
If you are confident with the knowledge,
it's A Contract with Black America, guys. I would like to talk about this.
It's like you're our black correspondent.
Right? Shit, I guess so. I didn't want to talk too long about it. I just, I know that Ice Cube's been getting a lot of flack.
What about? I haven't been paying attention.
Thank you, Justo. This is why I appreciate you, Justo, because
I'll ask.
No, you just don't get caught up in the bullshit. You know what? I actually wanted to bring this up because my wife thinks I'm addicted to social media, and so she's like, I don't think you can last a week without social media. And so anyway, I said, you bet. And so I haven't been on social media since last night.
Well, I think it depends on what
since last night.
Well,
like a couple hours.
Yeah.
I mean, not to get on the topic of social media, but I think it depends on what you're using it for. But what
do you mean what I'm using it for?
Well, if you're using it for educational purposes and it's not just watching Cardi B's butts, you know what I'm saying? Then
I can still be addicted.
But question for you, for people that don't know, what is Contract with Black America?
Okay,
Ice Cube is proposing?
Got it. So Ice Cube has a black agenda to address what's happening to black communities. He said that he was impacted by the George Floyd killing. Yep. And, the police brutality that's been happening to black people, since the birth of this country, Anyway, so he has a team and they put together an agenda and, they are addressing reparations, or addressing, education and all these different types of things and issues happening to black people. And so he has this agenda, and so he's kind of like shopping it around on some level where he wants whoever is willing to listen to check it out and add his plan to what they have going on.
I just like to add in that for anyone that's watching, if you don't know what reparations and ADOS, right? ADOS is, don't feel like, just, I had to Google it too to understand what all this stuff means. Keep going. Sorry. Because now you have to understand that what not everyone else does, and vice versa. So I had to Google it myself, but this is like in the past. I know what it is.
No, yeah, you know what it is. Yeah. And
now I do.
Yeah. So, and now y'all do. So, no, but anyway, so the backlash was Ice Cube got in contact with the Democrats and Republicans about the Contract with Black America. And so the Democrats said, hey, we like your plan, but, we're willing to talk about it after the election. We don't want to talk about it right now.
I watched the interview. That was Biden's camp, right?
That was Biden's camp.
Now,
the Democrats.
People were going in, and you guys should check out Twitter, going in on Ice Cube saying, oh, why are you rocking with Trump?
Well, let me get to that. Let me get to that because Biden's camp, they said, no, we're going to wait till we're going to wait till after the election. So he's like, oh, wait till I win before we can sit down and talk. And Ice Cube's like, okay. And so he got in contact with Republicans saying, hey, this is my plan. Like, can you guys, maybe change up whatever a platinum plan y'all had for Black America and like add this to it. And so I guess the Trump administration listened to him, and then they shouted him out on Twitter, which I think was like a clout. They did a clout move on him to get more black people to vote for them, but they're not going to do shit for him. Let's just keep it real. But anyway, the media got pissed off at Ice Cube because are you kidding? You're a Trump supporter, blah, blah, blah. And then Ice Cube said, no, I reached out to both of them. Biden put me to the side, and then Trump's administration said, hey, we're willing to look at this right now and see what we can do right now, and what we can change. So anyway, I just wanted to
let me paraphrase for the, I don't want to use the word. Well, let's just dumb this down a bit for the dumb people. I'm calling myself dumb, okay? So let's just dumb this down a little bit for people that are not as educated as you are in this. And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't fault Ice Cube for shopping this around, because at the end of the day, he's trying to make forward progression for black people, right? So I don't see anything wrong. The first thing I thought when I watched one of the interviews was like, what's wrong with that?
Right.
And he was also instrumental in getting the California, correct me if I'm wrong, the California, it wasn't passed, right? California is the first state to
pass a reparations study bill, yeah.
And
Ice Cube actually played a part in getting Gavin Newsom connected.
Okay.
With the grassroots movement pushing it too.
I don't even know, and maybe it's just maybe I'm speaking for myself. I don't know if everyone understands why Ice Cube is doing this and why people are, looking for, what's the word I'm looking for? Not benefits, but looking for more rights for black people. Is it because when people say minorities right now, these benefits or laws are in place to help minorities, but minorities don't necessarily mean black people.
Right.
Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Define that real quick or explain that more.
Yeah. So this
is like an interview, but I want to break it down so people understand.
Sure, I'll break it down just really quick. I mean, just minorities, people of color. It's very broad. So it's kind of like an all lives matter. Like, oh, Black Lives Matter. Oh, all lives matter. So guess what? We're going to do something for everyone. But there's something specifically happened to black people. Mm-hmm. So anyway, saying minorities, people of color, but it's really a black issue. You need to make...
It needs to be separate.
It needs to be separate.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's less than or equal or more important. It's like, no, this is a specific issue happening. Just like what happened with the Japanese internment camps or the Jews. There was things that was made specifically for them because their experiences that happened to them was specifically to them. So that's what's happening with black people over the years. And now we need specific solutions. So that's what he's talking about.
Now, one more dumb question, just because I want to give people context, for anyone that watches and hopefully cares. ADOS is American Descendants of Slaves.
Slavery,
sorry.
Right, because slavery is an institution. So it's like, built the country.
The move is wanting financial means for all black people in this country, every single black person, or is it specific ones that have been affected by it?
Right.
What's the differentiation?
Right. So,
do Will Smith's kids deserve this?
So
it's a good question, right?
It is a good question. A lot of people ask that. So the reparations part, as far as like the reparations, would be for people who are descendant of slavery in this country. So American descendants of slavery. Doesn't matter what your income is, because the reality is about building and closing the racial wealth gap for the collective. Will Smith and they don't make up the collective. They're an anomaly. So, it is what it is. If they have family that descends of slavery, like, they deserve reparations because their family helped build the country. So it's just like, just because Will Smith found a way to make it and he's got, no, I mean, there's people that have rich and they don't have generational wealth. Now there's a black agenda that will affect and impact all black people across the country, meaning an agenda like, making laws to punish police officers for killing unarmed black people. That would impact every single black person. That's just an example. But reparations, like, specifically would be for ADOS, but the black agenda would be to help black people all over that suffered from systemic racism in this country.
Do you think that, and I'll end it this, do you think that people that are racist, do you think that they, like, for example, Justo, I know that he is...
Sam Justo, racist.
Do you think that he can... Niall, do you think
Wait, first, let's talk about people who are racist. Justo.
Justo is not racist.
Do you think I'm just kidding. And we'll end it at that.
Okay.
This is
Jesus Christ.
Well,
I want to hear context. Let's let everyone hear context, I guess.
I just want to see if you were here.
Okay.
This is like an ongoing thing. This is like a character thing, ongoing. We're going to continue talking about it because it's all about learning and growing. And hey, man, I think that's it. I think it was a great podcast, man. I think that we're a super slept on podcast. That's what I think.
Okay.
That's just me.
Wait, were you going to give context?
You were going to say a point before you called me racist.
That was my point. I was kidding. It was just a joke.
Okay.
It was just to shift it and I was going to end the podcast.
It really sounded like you were having something else to say.
No, because low-key, Nile, we can keep going for another hour. I can keep asking you questions that I'm genuinely interested in and I want to educate, but I know that we have many other podcasts to go. So it's an ongoing conversation.
You shocked me, and I feel like that kid who wasn't paying attention in class and someone asked you a question.
Wait. I know, I'm kidding.
Okay, but
I'm kidding.
I think, just for editing purposes, because you were getting to a point, and I think I can answer really simply. You're talking about people who might not understand, people that aren't black that might not understand, or just
people that don't even know, like, I know people that don't even know what ADOS is.
Right.
It's a relatively new term.
Yeah, it's a relatively new term. African American was actually a term not like as a group. We did not say, "Hey, we want to be called African American." Like it was like by thought leaders like Jesse Jackson, who they are not like, they're kind of like tools of like people that own them, which are white. Like that's what it is. So they're, hey, we're calling you guys African American. First was the N-word, then we got changed to Negro, then we were called colored. Now we're African American.
Why not just people?
Well, it's just not. It's about ethnicity, and so because we're a captured group from slavery, like we are of course going to have disrespectful last names. So it is what it is. Like Japanese, Chinese, everyone has their own ethnicity. So ADOS, we're like, you know what? We're demanding, this is our ethnicity. This is what we built this. We helped build this country, like the foundation of this country, like before, you know, there was any type of laws that would allow, you know, the immigration to come in as big as it is today. So anyway, just to answer your question, like people that understand it, I think our goal, like what we're doing right now on this podcast, is just to educate. I'm educating you. I've educated Justo. And I think the more education people have, doesn't matter what color they are, they'll understand that this is going to help America a better place. Because no one wants to see what's happening to black people, just like I don't want to see what's happening to any other group like that's being targeted by, you know, this system.
Yeah, just to also understand the context why. Also why. I think the why is also
the why is definitely,
and you just gave the answer.
Yeah,
like at least people will understand more the answer to the why.
Right. In future podcasts, we can break it down more for sure.
Next, yeah, man. Anyway, thanks for checking out the Lesson Zero podcast. I thought it was a great episode. I think we're super slept on. That's what I personally think.
Yeah,
you know,
but y'all say y'all woke.
And I'll leave it at this. You guys should look up. We have our own group. You know, you have ADOS. We have the BBs, or just BB.
Bad bitches?
No, I'm being serious actually.
Okay.
It's called the Bangkok Bengals.
Got it. Beautiful.
The Bangkok Bengals.
Really rolls off the tongue, Julian.
I can't even I made the dumbest jokes. I don't know.
The hat you have contradicts everything you just said.
I know. All right, guys. Thanks for checking out the podcast. Like, subscribe. Anything else? No?
Vote yes on 22 and 16. And just kidding. We'll talk about 16 next episode.
There you go. Thank you. Next week. Peace.